bringing all these guys in. We've been working all spring on trying to get a lot of information, and they've done well with that. One of the things you've got to get past the first couple of days in camp is taking that information and transitioning onto the field. But they've done very well here in the office. They've been professionals, and we had a good first day of practice.
Is there a trick or a strategy to trying to get as a new coach coming in here and trying to get a team ready for in 3 to 4 weeks?
I don't think so. You spend a lot of time in the off season with your staff trying to figure out exactly what you're going to do. What's the plan? I think we did a great job with that. Obviously it's the first day, so we'll see how it comes out.
I want to get your input a bit on your take where, Memphis is coming in with mostly a brand new roster, lots of new pieces, and obviously your coaching staff, you're a brand new coach in the league. Do you think that puts you at a bit of a disadvantage heading into the season compared to some of these teams that are bringing back most of the same coaching staffs and most of the same players?
Well, I'll say this. We've got a really good GM in Jim Monos, and he's worked very hard to, I don't want to say upgrade, but get talent in here that we feel like fits our system. And our coaches, even though, we haven't been together per se in the same spot, we've been working virtually for a number of months and getting prepared for it. So the biggest challenge is taking the information that we've done and getting our players to buy into it and then, work through the techniques of it. We've sent it to them ahead of time, so they had it before they got here this weekend, and then we've had a chance to meet with them a couple of times. But as always, the first day, there's mistakes, there's little things about technique. But today I was impressed with how our guys worked. They did a great job on the field. I think we could see, we haven't looked at the tape yet, but I could see where it wasn't perfect, but they were trying hard to understand the concepts and get into those. And I think there was a very good feeling of excitement as far as with the new schemes that are going in, and then their ability to be able to take these and be successful with it.
And then to follow up on that, the quarterback room, you have Troy Williams, who's returning from this team last year, but then you went out and brought in Quentin Dormady from the Brahmas, picked up EJ Perry from the Panthers. What's your outlook on this quarterback room heading into the season, heading here into training camp, and what have you seen of them so far?
Well, it's been exciting to sit in a room with these guys. They're good guys, first of all. They didn't have any beef about who's getting the snaps or when they're getting them. They just want to compete. Obviously, Troy's been here, so he's got a little bit of an edge just from the standpoint of understanding some of the players that he's working with, even though there's some of them there's a good bit of them that are new. But I've been in a lot of quarterback rooms over my career, and there's always competition with that group because they're a very, very prideful group. I've been very impressed with their attention to detail and also, the interaction among them, because you never can I want to underscore how important it is to have those guys, pull and want each other to do well. But ultimately, you got to pick one of them, and that's what the next couple of weeks are about.
Could you share with us a little about your work schedule for these weeks, and the other one, your opinion about the new rules in the UFL? Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Yeah, our schedule, we had a good schedule. I mean, I've been in a number of different places where we've had to schedule it. So we've sat down with some of the coaches that were here last year, and they give you the window when you can practice. UFL does that, but it's all about how you manage your time and what you do with it. And I think as far as, the amount of time you have in the classroom and then the ability to take that to the field and be able to execute it is a big thing. You can't do too much, but you do have to challenge them. That's a big thing. So, we've had a lot of time to do that. We've worked hard. We put in the first 3 or 4 scripts of camp already, and we've actually sent it to them. So we'll adjust and tinker with it as we go forward. And then the second question, what was the second question you said to me?
Yeah, what is your opinion about the new rules for this season in the UFL?
Are you talking about the kickoff rule?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. Look, the biggest thing for me is that we want to be able to put our guys in a position where they can, if they play well, they can get to the NFL. And because they've done this, now they've given our guys that can be on special teams, at least the feel for what they're going to expect. So if they do get an opportunity to go to the NFL, they've at least experienced what those guys have done. I think it's an exciting part of the game now. It was something that's been, when I was in the NFL years ago, it was always a point of contention, the kickoffs, because of the collisions. And I think they have done a really good job with that. And I'm excited that we went to it because we get a chance to, be a professional team and do it just like the NFL.
Yeah, I know last time we talked to you, you hadn't got a chance to lay your eyes on the players on the field. So, in day one, Because what were your initial reactions to the talent that you have out there?
Well, it's hard because we haven't gone to the film yet and watched the practice, but I was very excited about the look of our team. But even more importantly, I was very excited about the feel of our team. You can see the interaction on the field. Some of these guys have been together. Other guys have just bonded over the last couple of days, as we've been here. But there's a very good camaraderie between the offense and the defense. We're battling, even though it was the first day. And I really like the way these guys, when we've been in the room together, even offense and defense, the way they have interacted. You can see it when they're around here in the day. They seem to enjoy each other's company. We've got a lot of guys that have been in this league that will talk about plays, talk about games. So it's pretty neat. The challenge is to get all of them headed in the same direction with the new systems. But they've worked very hard over the last couple of days, and I was impressed with how today went.
Do you expedite that camaraderie aspect in such a short time before the season?
It's not always easy. One of the things about team is that, guys got to work together some, but they're eager. Our group is eager, and I don't see a lot of egos out there. So that'll help the transition of doing that. I think we'll see over the next couple of weeks how they grow together. But I'm excited about where they are right now and the fact that they're communicating with each other well, and there seems to be a very good feeling of camaraderie.
To kind of speak on some of that talent that you've brought in, Coach, are there any position groups in particular that you're excited to kind of watch those battles unfold here in camp, offensively or defensively?
Well, not having been here last year, it's hard to be familiar with the guys that were here, not so much from what you can see off the tape, but how they interact and how they can take the changes that we've done, because it's a new system for us. It's good to see that because, you know a little bit more about those guys just from having seen what they've done. But really, it's a new start for everybody, which is, exciting because it gives them all a chance to bond. And I think the thing that was really good is, like today, I saw the quarterbacks talking to the receivers on the side and, the tight ends and coming up, and really good communication with our offensive line. And our defense had a really good practice today, which generally the defense is a little bit ahead, but you could see those guys communicating. You could see them, when somebody made a good play, the other guy coming over to them. So those are the things that, you don't necessarily think make that big of a deal, but it is. It brings these guys closer and it gives them the confidence to compete with each other, which is a big piece of this.
On your coaching staff, some new faces, some guys coming back from the Showboats organization last year. How excited are you to work with this current staff? I know you brought in Jaron Horton, a guy that you're familiar with, was a big-time coach in the USFL a couple of years ago. How excited are you to work with this staff this year?
Our staff's been great. I've really enjoyed working with our staff. Everything, because I've wanted to do some things. I wanted to do, a lot of things. It's come from a background of, really going after it. And our guys worked hard. Every time we talk about, Jaron's done a great job of constructing the defense. TJ Benary, who is our tight ends and our receivers coach, who was with this team last year that did such a good job, has also been good. Jim Turner, I've really been excited because I've known what a good coach Jim Turner is for a number of years. I think we've got a great mix of veteran coaches and young coaches and successful coaches. And they're all excited about our team. As I said, Jim's done a great job with the talent of getting guys in here, but it's early. Everybody's happy the first couple of days. Let's see how it all pans out, but we're excited, that's for sure.
I know you're all in on football right now, Ken, but can you kind of talk about getting out in the community and trying to drum up support? I know you had addressed it before about you want to get fans there in the stands, and that the product on the field has a lot to do with that.
Absolutely. I've been there a couple of times, actually integrating with the community, just trying to get some excitement about the team. I know, just from some of the feedback I've gotten from people, that they're excited about having a team that's competitive. And I understand the legacy of what it means to Memphis. So, we are committed to trying to put the best team out there. I feel like, this is just me, that if we put a good product out there, the fans will fall in love with it and we'll have good support because they know what it's about, because they've seen it before. So that's our whole goal. I mean, we want to get some good players, dynamic players that can make plays for us, but we also want to integrate the community, and be even though we're not there as much as maybe other teams. Listen, if you can find somebody that can make an appearance here or make an appearance there, even just so people can get an idea of the quality of these players and what they're trying to do, I think it helps bring that all together. And That's what we want to do. The city is important to us because we understand the history of it, or at least I've talked to our guys about it, and I'm sure a lot of them have. And I want them to understand that because it's an important city for this league. It's something that we really want to have a good fan base and play well for.
Thank you, Coach. Yeah, some of us are old enough to remember the old Showboats, right?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, I remember it, and some of that. Just the fact that sticks in your mind, it means something, right? And if we can put a good product out there, it'll make people, I think, really support us. So that's what we're working to do.